What's good, Zodiac Chat Line fam? Y'all know I'm hyped. Everybody knows I'm hyped and excited. It is my time. It is my time. It is my time. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Very excited Aquarian right here. I think that's worked. Go Lions. That's right. That's right, Alex. We repping that 313. We love Alex. He representing the whole town. Go Lions. Go Lions. Go Lions. Go Lions. That's a good thing on Aquarius season. I also see that my godmother's in here, and you stay for the whole show because I got something special to tell you later. But guys, it is January 21st, 2024. Welcome to the Zodiac Chat Line. I'm your host today. And as always, Cassie is with me. As you can tell, Cassie, how are you? Let me just let you go first because, let's...
How are you is the question.
I...
Aquarius in resident, queen of these water bearing.
I'm just happy to be here. No, I am excited. This Aquarius season for me, I feel like is transformational. This has been a very interesting 21 days of 2024. We have just come off of Pluto being in Capricorn, and it has now moved to Aquarius, of course. And I want you to know that any Aquarian, if you have an Aquarian sun, especially an Aquarius rising, it is your time. It really is. The world has been transformed for you. Pluto, the planet of transformation and taboo, has now moved into Aquarius as of yesterday, along with the sun. Every person I know that's into astrology or what have you has talked about this transit for weeks, months. We got a little preview last year, but everybody's been talking about this transit because of when Pluto was in Capricorn in 2008. That was the beginning of the financial crisis, and there was so much going on in our world. And now it has transformed and left that capitalistic Capricorn energy and moved towards Aquarius's humanitarians. It's all of us, the age of Aquarius. So the Pluto transit will be in Aquarius from yesterday, January 20th. It will go all the way till May 2nd. At May 2nd, it will retrograde in Aquarius for a little bit, and then on September 2nd, we'll retrograde back into Capricorn. And then we'll go direct on October 11th in Capricorn and finally end up on November 19th back into Aquarius and stay till March 8th of 2043. Yes, that was a lot of transits, but basically by the end of this year, Pluto will have settled into Aquarius and we will see a generational transformation.
We're never going back to Pluto in Capricorn, y'all. We will all be dead. We will all be hella dead before Pluto goes back to Capricorn once we get through this year.
I think that that's a necessary transit. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius was during the American Revolution, which was in 1777. And this is how we got to America then. So after these next 20 years, we will see a brand new America. I'm thinking technological advances with AI, women's rights, human rights, homeless, I don't want to call them homeless, housing,
inequality.
Oh God, what is it? We'll come back to that. But them, just even our housing issue. I think a general housing issue of how a lot of people are being outpriced for housing. And global warming, who knows where we'll be in 20 years. I'm sure Cassie will keep us up to date because that's why she's that girl and she knows
till the
about
earth
Mother Earth.
swallows me. Yes, I'll try.
And we do have an upcoming election in 2024 when actually Pluto will be in Capricorn, I believe, during the election, and will move into Aquarius right after. Again, interesting. And a lot of celebrity cancel culture. I think we saw in the beginning of the year a lot of truths being exposed, i.e. Cat Williams just went on a rampage about everybody, but you know, like, I mean, if
Thank
you
you
did
for
it, you
not
did
voting for us.
not swallowed up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so we did TD Jakes as well, like, and even religion, we're seeing everybody has very polarizing views at this point. At the end of Pluto and Capricorn, that's the one thing I've noticed, is that there's a very polarizing way. It's either you think this way or this way. There's really no mediation or moderacy. A lot of people are very adamant one way or the other, which I believe that, like, if you really believe in something, you stand up for it, that's great. But the side that just bans things and takes away people's rights and arrests people for having miscarriages, I just can't understand personally. But by the end of this year, it will not look the same. We saw even Gypsy Rose got released from prison. I mean, it's just been a crazy 21 days.
Yeah. Capricorn season, I'm very happy to see it go the way of the dodo bird. That good luck to you. Hopefully next time around it's better, but that was rough. And to your point of like this year and the last bit of this Pluto and Capricorn energy that we have to get through, this year is going to be extremely transformational, not just here in the US, but all over the world. There are 50 plus countries electing new leaders in 2024, which is maybe a record, but if not a record, a fucking shit ton of elections to be happening at once. And like, you know, I think what my prediction with the Pluto and Aquarius period is that it's going to teach us that not only do we not have to play by the rules of the game as they exist, but we don't even have to play this game. The game is going to change. It's just not going to be the same field we have been playing on. And like the last Pluto and Aquarius transit it started with the American Revolution. America's Pluto return was actually at the tail end of Pluto in Capricorn. That's when the Declaration of Independence was signed, but they actually started fighting the revolution in 1777 when Pluto had moved into Aquarius. And by the end of that period, there was also the French Revolution, which ushered in an entire new era in Europe, an anti-aristocratic era, which has carried over into now. But now we have to be anti-oligarchs and, you know, capitalist monsters.
Greed. It's actually
greed.
It's anti-greed at this point. It's basically like we the people, not I. And I think that is definitely a lot of Aquarian energy. Is like, it's very hard for Aquarians to live in the I without thinking of the we.
Yeah.
Like group consciousness, if you will. And like Capricorn is like, does it make me money? Stop talking. Like, that's like literally the bottom line. Like, how many $signs is this conversation going to net me or cost me? What's up? Let me know. But I'm really excited, and by the end of January, oddly enough, all of our planets will finally be going direct. So mid-ish Aquarius season will be kind of cute. You know?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Buttercups.
We will keep you on tabs on you guys once a month, but by the end of this, y'all, we gonna come back and look at this and be like, So we're gonna bring on our guests because I'm super excited to have both of these people on and talk about fellowship. So first guest we're gonna bring on, I have found that I tend to not necessarily have Aquarius friends. I meet Aquarius friends through other people. And so this person I met through a dear friend, Chelsea Shag. But this beautiful human, amazing soul, is an artist, an entrepreneur. She is the best energy I've ever met, and somebody I didn't know until I met them. And she has an amazing quality about her that I just can't put my finger on. I think it might be that Leo rising. But everybody, welcome Sam to the show.
Thank you, Sam.
Hi,
And
hi.
hi. Joining us in Sam is my name twin, Tanae's birthday twin, Cassandra A, who is an Atlanta-bred visual performance artist, badass queen of our lives. Yes, welcome to the show. Welcome to you. Welcome both. Thank you guys for joining us on a Sunday night.
So we got you both on here to talk about fellowship. And for us, it took us a minute to kind of hone in on our Aquarius topic, because a lot of it was about, collective and friendship. And we really tried to find a good word. And Cassie found this fantastic fellowship. And so our definition is the companionship of individuals in a congenial atmosphere on equal terms, friendship, camaraderie, a close association of friends or equals sharing similar interests, friendly association, especially with people who share one's interests. So that was our definition.
Yeah, a lot to chew on there. It was, typical Aquarius energy, hard to pin down, hard to define what term, what topic could encompass, but yeah, we thought there was a lot to unpack there. So I'm going to start the questions. In what spaces have you guys found fellowship? Whichever one of y'all wants to take the first bite, go for it.
Depends on what you really mean by fellowship, because there's like two different ways I define it. It's like kind of like fellowship with like your coworkers is different from fellowship with like family and close friends.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever. So in that regard, I'm usually can get along with anybody until I don't, and then that's on my terms. You know what I'm saying? But in that regard, it's just like I guess if like-minded, music, art, I guess more of a what do you call it, sort of like how you were brought up to, like, excuse me and thank you and no sir and that. So when you kind of have values like that in that regard, I kind of connect with you, because I'm like, oh, well, maybe you have at least a little bit of common sense before I get to know you first. You know what I mean? So through that, I kind of move through just like the vibe of people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. I think that's an important point. We talked about that in our production call as far as fellowship versus some other words, and even in spaces. And I think the thing that struck us about that was equality. So like sometimes with coworkers, it's like you have a different relationship with your boss and it might be good, but then the people that are like on the same level as you know? So it's unpacking that. It's a lot to think about there. Like, because in what spaces do you feel like you're actually equal with the people also, Like, Sam, what do you think?
I would say I've definitely found the most like authentic fellowship that I've ever felt through queer community, hanging out with other creatives, and mutual aid work. Because again, like you were just saying with equality, with mutual aid, there's not a hierarchy. It's, everybody's on the same team. Everybody has, a like-minded goal in mind. We are all working together. It's people helping people. There's not barriers for folks, it's open access for people. It is getting resources to a need, and that's really cool. And yeah, with queer community, I spent a lot of my life closeted but gay as hell, and and so I feel like this last year, truly, like I'm about to turn 36, and this last year, my 35th year, is like the real first full year that I found that I feel like I actually have genuine, authentic queer community. Like, and I have, found just like a deep level of platonic intimacy and like genuine love that I've never experienced outside of anything else, with queer community and with other creatives, because creatives, we're strange, and we have a lot going on up here, and oftentimes we are taking painful experiences and painful things that we go through, and we are transmuting that through creativity. And so there's usually like a shared kind of connection there. And so for me, I think that the space is queer community with other creatives and with mutual aid work.
Hell yeah. Today, what about you?
And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go now.
Like, geez, stand for president.
Exactly. You're 36 now. You can do it.
I qualify. There we go.
I think it's been similar to Sam. I think in a lot of ways, just what I find interesting and who I'm around, like, Cassie, myself, and Coral, I think we find a very intense and intimate fellowship that is really, we've cultivated just because of friendships. A lot of my friendships came out of work relationships. A lot of my friends I met through work, because that you spend, unfortunately, at some points, most of your time more with those people than you do in your own home. And, and we all come together because somebody got to get paid with this rent. So it's not like, you're coming together because like, oh, we all want to work here, but we all just happen to work here. And then when you connect on a much deeper level than just working there, it makes it a lot easier. And, I think I have a very interesting relationship, I think, with the queer community in general. I think I find fellowship within people, and then some of them happen to be queer, some of them don't. But I live such a queer life myself that, like, I guess if you're cool with me, then you're in the queer life, even if you're not. But I think everybody's a little queer. So it just kind of depends. And then, with my own family, I have a great relationship with my family, and Black people, they're my peoples, for sure, all day.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Definitely through restaurant work specifically, I have found a lot of fellowship and camaraderie. That is a real us against them type of situation. And like, you go through a lot of battles with fellow service industry workers, and that's, some real trauma bonding, and has bred some of my longest lasting and, deepest friendships. And oftentimes creative people are also, and travelers and interesting folks are in that workspace. So it's just rife with opportunities to connect with people. The theater, when I was in theater, for sure, like I love to perform. It doesn't really fit in my life schedule right now, but I plan to go back to it sometime. But that was huge for me, especially as a young big girl. And I never felt confident. Like, I never wanted to be seen in a classroom really or anything, but like on stage, I felt really in command, and I always liked that and enjoyed the fellowship of the other theater kids. So yeah, those kind of spaces. But I
hairspray.
Say again.
I said it sounds like the apprentice to Hairspray.
I wish I were that vocally talented. That was my life, but
okay, so this next question, be ready. And Sam, it gets to go to you first.
Oh boy. Okay. Okay, let's go.
So, what are your thoughts on organized religion, and what experiences informed them?
Oh boy. Okay, let me well, I feel very lucky that I grew up with parents who didn't necessarily force anything on me. I feel like I grew up with parents who We're very crunchy granola, hippy dippy, which I absolutely love. And so they were very much, their religion is like the earth, trees, and the bees. And but they both of my parents came from very Christian upbringings. You know, my grandmother played at Peachtree Presbyterian. She played piano. She was a concert pianist, and she played for like 40 years or 30 years or something, you know. And so like we would go to the church for different holidays and things like that. And you know, but it was never forced on me. But I I think religion is a beautiful thing, and I think people who have faith, and I think that people who feel a connectedness to their faith and their religion and their people and all of those things is a beautiful thing. I do have a problem if your religion involves the dehumanization, oppression, annihilation, extraction of resources, land, all of those things. If your religion involves those things, I have an issue with that. And if you, if your religion involves trying to control other people as well, if it, you know, involves, oppressing specific groups of people, I can't get down with that. And I think that there's a lot of people who weaponize religion under the guise of goodness or purity or whatever these things are. And I think that that's fucking bullshit. And I think that's a whole ass problem. And I think there are a lot of people who claim to be about a religion that they have misconstrued and contorted so greatly that it is so far away from where it actually originated. And so I have a problem with that as well. And I think that, if we all just respected and loved each other for who we are and stop trying to make people believe the things we believe or change, you know, the way that we are. I think that if we all saw each other for the beautiful, unique, wonderful creations of Stardust that we all are individually and respected and honored the hell and protected that instead of trying to make people fit into some kind of box that you are interested in having them fit in, I think that, we would be a lot better off. So I think religion can be a beautiful thing and also something that is scary as hell and creating a lot of oppression and divisiveness and perpetuates, you know, bigger systems and problematic things that are happening in our country. So,
And Sam for
to give you to give you a little.
Sam is not ready for president and Miss America, y'all. I don't think y'all are ready for that. But we'll take it.
I've already voted like twice. Don't tell me.
So, Cassandra, what is your experience?
Well, y'all got some tea, okay? Because pretty much, like, I grew up where my mom was like Baptist, so that's Sunday I'm in church as a kid, right? And then my dad was a Seventh-day Adventist, so that's Saturday I'm in church as a kid. So, you know, I'm totally like Cindy Lou Who on the inside, just adorably, just like, oh, everybody is like wonderful and, you know, whatever. And then being in those churches and seeing everybody, you know, fire, brimstone, fire, more brimstone. And it's sort of like, okay, well, aren't you like getting a divorce because you were like cheating? And isn't that not right in the Bible? And why are you doing that over there when you just told her not to do that over there, but under the guise of like Jesus says? And it seems like we're still human at the end of it for like this big being that you're trying to, and I don't want to come off like, you know, because my thing is like religion for me is like, I don't have a set denomination. I do believe in the higher something makes us function in some sort of way of right and wrong. Now, at the end of it all, do we turn to stardust? Do we, you know, sit on clouds with like things over our heads? Or, you know, I don't know any of that. Hopefully, I just hope I get some fucking peace and quiet. Is all. Okay? So, whatever that's heaven. Okay? But other than that, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like religion is your own thing. Your body, as it was said, is your temple, your church. You know what I mean? So you're supposed to walk in Christ's, like, you know, in the sense of like Christianity, of course, but it's still all of them, being that I was exposed to two separate sort of religions, I noticed that it was still the same sort of like pathway. And I'm just like, so why can't we just all just get in one like big church and like chill out? You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, because like you eat meat and I don't eat meat, so like, you know, you're going to hell. It's kind of weird to me. Like, I feel like religion nitpicks or I should say, not religion, but I should say certain people in religion nitpick the things that they want to advocate for. And if it doesn't fit into their box or their convenience, then, oh, well, I'm not talking about that. That, you know, that you can get away with that. I'll just do like a couple of Holy Marys and then I'm good. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I wish I could do that with parking tickets, you know what I mean? But it can't. So, but like I said, I don't tread on anybody for their religion, of course. I mean, I'm not like boo religion. I just feel like I respect whatever religion you are. You can talk to me about it. I mean, don't like cattle prod me to like sway me over, you know what I mean? But for the most part, pretty much like Sam says, that you don't have to listen to what the president says. That we should just all get along. You know what I mean? It's so simple. It's so dumb simple. But alas, humans are going to human, I guess. Oh, is she frozen again?
A little bit. You're back though. You ready?
Me?
You're back.
Mhm.
You are
I
here,
am.
and it's your turn.
Yes, I noticed I froze. Yeah. So I also didn't grow up in a particularly religious home. Like my mom is Methodist, which is like Baptist light, pretty chill as far as Christian denominations go. And we went sometimes, not super regularly. I did find myself in a position amongst a certain sect of the theater kids to start going to a Baptist church at one point in high school. And I got out of it when I realized they were trying to reel me in. You know what I mean? Like trying to put on the real
They'll do
seduction
that.
and the saving and all of that. And I'm just like, I respect all religions. I believe in all gods. Honestly, your God has enough people that they believe it's real. There's something to that. It's an archetype, a force of light in the universe, whatever. I believe all things are connected. I think we're just too small to understand the connections and that process. And I believe there are forces in the universe that create great waves of good or evil sometimes. And there's a great struggle for balance. And I think we're in the middle of some of that, swaying maybe away from an evil place, hopefully into a good place. Though I don't know how much further to the evil we may have to sway before we get that bounce back. That scares me. But I think in general, I appreciate faith, but less do I appreciate organized religion and the arbitrary rule setting of that, and the fact that many people just use it as a way to benchmark themselves against others and make themselves feel good. And that's missing the point entirely of almost every single religion. You know, like Muhammad had great things to say, Jesus had great things to say, Buddha, all of them. Like, you just have to get to the core of it. And we could all be just sitting in a great big church together.
Could you imagine that United Nations though? That would be crazy.
That would be crazy. But like, I think about that with what's going on in Palestine. This is a land that is considered holy by so many people. But if you can't find the holy land in yourself, what is the point? You know, it's not about, and you should be able to be neighbors with people who don't believe exactly the same way as you, but want to walk in like a loving path. It just really fucking blows my mind, you know? And you start to look at data, countries that are highly religious are usually highly violent also. And it's, you know, the string pullers, I think, unfortunately, in most organized religions that are creating those.
Man.
You're right.
Yep. I was like, nope, we can't hear her talk about that. She'll be back in just a moment. Yep, we are back. I
I was like, at least I was done.
Yeah.
I said that to
It's all
myself
the
while I was frozen.
Aquarian energy, like pushing it. No offense, you know what I mean?
None taken. None taken.
Yeah, I really appreciate everything that all three of you said. Similarly, I was not necessarily raised in a certain religion. I did go to Catholic school my entire life. That was interesting. I will say, like, the education was great. The religious part, I don't really think it affected me that much, because I lived with my I was with my family so much that, like, Catholicism wasn't something that was pushed on me. My grandma was kind of like non-denominational. My mom was like, well, this is what grandma said, so this is what we're doing. But I think I was fortunate enough to be able to kind of explore what that looked like for me. And I personally don't need organized religion for my faith and my spirituality. It is something that I can respect people that do. I think some people do need that, and I think they need that type of fellowship. I think that some people do need to go to a church every Sunday, and that's how for them, it's either a ritual or it is something that allows them to, like, come back to center. But I have my own church of today right here, and within myself, my own God complex, if you will, but more or less, just trying to, evolve my soul to the highest vibration that it can be. And all I really got out of the Bible was the golden rule: do unto others as you want them to do unto you. I know there's a lot more words in there, guys.
That's all you need.
I know.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that's what I got out of the entire thing. And just, I say this all the time, we are living in these flesh suits because this is how we have to experience life. But that does not mean that your soul is good. You can tell if your soul is good or bad no matter what you look like on the outside. And like Cassandra said, if the vibe is not vibing, bro, you can.
People pick up on if you are, like, just the worst real quick, like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you don't need to know everything about everybody to just kind of see where they're vibing at.
Yeah, and you don't know where people have been. You don't know their experience, especially their religious experiences. And I find that some people's good or bad religious experience. I have a couple of friends who grew up very religious, and, like, as they've gotten older, they have less and less gotten away from that because I think it was just kind of, for lack of a better term, shoved down their throats. Mm-hmm. And they kind of were like, this just doesn't feel right to me anymore. And I think it's also a generational thing. I mean, I was born in the late 70s. And, my parents were born in the 50s. And so, religion and spirituality, that's a huge gap. And for me, I had the benefit of being able to explore that without being forced to follow in my parents' footsteps for religion. So yeah,
let me ask my question while I'm not frozen.
Yes.
Because
what? We're gonna have a good time.
I know, right?
Like, whatever.
I don't have anything to do, so go ahead.
All right. So, how do you guys think here in 2024 we, as individuals and as a collective, can bring about more, I'll say, global fellowship?
I can talk about that.
Please do.
I think that we have a really fucked, like, sense of what we value as important. And I think that we are all very comfortable in our comforts. And I think we are all very, comfortable with our, sweet American life, and,
spoiled.
Yeah, real spoiled. And I think that, it's time for a lot of us to take a hard look at the comforts that we have and where they came from and whose backs they were built on, and actually dedicate time, attention, resources into undoing the things that we have done all around the world, and the things we continue to do all around the world. And I think that yeah, I think that there needs to be, and I think, yeah, with this, Pluto and Aquarius, I think that there is going to be a big shift, hopefully, in the things that people are like valuing, like even, with what's happening right now all over the world. I look at like social media and see influencers, hawking some random, or not Instagram, Amazon link for some bullshit that none of us fucking need. And I'm like, what are you even talking about right now? Like, what is this shit? Like, stop it, and just the materialism and the consumerism and the more and the greed and the extraction and the, like, at the end of all this, what are we going to fucking have? A pile of Amazon, fast fashion shit? Is that what we're here for? Truly.
Idiocracy. Remember that movie? We're like living it with like the Crocs and shit. It's crazy.
It's wild as hell. It is wild as hell. And, but I think that, we all have to keep each other accountable, because I think we do live in incredibly traumatic times. So a lot of us, in order to survive, have to numb and check out and disengage, because we are all just constantly being triggered. And, a lot of us might not have the toolkit and the resources and the wherewithal to know how to regulate our nervous systems, to deal with our emotional world, all of those things. So it's like we have to link arms and help each other be accountable in this shit. And like, hey, I'm uncomfortable too, and I'm having a bad day. You want to cry about it together, and then tomorrow let's go to work, But like, we have to be accountable to each other, and we all have to just give a shit a lot more, and have a responsibility for other people. Like, we're just, again, so numb, like driving down the street and seeing unhoused folks begging for help and just driving past them. Like, what the fuck is that? And I think that if we all were just more conditioned to take a responsibility for our neighbors, for folks that are hurting, for people that are marginalized, for people that are oppressed, for people that don't have the same access, privilege, and resources that a lot of us do have, like, we have to take more of a responsibility for that. Like, it is so easy to make your car like a little mutual aid mobile. Like, you can have snacks in there, you can have drinks in there. It's really cold outside, you can have fucking hand warmers. Like, it's really easy just to arm yourself with things to be able to help people and provide dignity and care and let people know that they fucking matter. And like, we're just all too consumed with shit that doesn't fucking matter. And it's on purpose and it's by design, but like, we all got to wake up, and we got to wake up quick, because the planet is on fire. People being, oppressed, and entire groups of people are being annihilated, entire generations, and we are watching it unfold and being live streamed on our phone. And what the fuck are we doing? So.
And Sam, for mayor of the state of Atlanta, we are just going to keep racking these up.
But all I'm saying is, she said exactly what, like, I try not to be like that person that's always like, fuck plastics every day, like, because it's like everywhere, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's like, am I overstepping? I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, like, in the sake of like, with the fellowship of other people, and like you're saying, like, everybody has their head up their ass, I was born in the 80s, like 81, and so I was like in there, like seeing the whole thing. I mean, as a baby, but in that regard, it's like big changes in the world since then. I mean, and I can only say the 80s. I mean, think about, like you said, the 50s, you know what I mean? So in my little short time of being here, I noticed that there is a change in people, in they're aloof. It's almost like, it's not so much that they don't want to or they can't. It's just like it doesn't even register to them at all. It's like, even to the small things of like when you're in a grocery store and someone has their cart parked this way. It's like, this is a moment of passing for people, like, be aware of other, but it's like, oh, I'm sorry, like, why didn't you, it's like those sort of moments, if they can't even process that, you think they're gonna cure world hunger? You know what I mean? So it's one of those things we have to refocus on, and I have none, but we need to focus on the children, like, for real. Because if we don't, it's only going to get worse from here. They're already trying to take the books out of schools, and they're already trying to like dumb them down and fill them full of like, now I can't talk because remember in the 90s, like ketchup with like purple, like what was that? So it's probably why I look so good, because I'm full of preservatives, you know what I mean? So I mean, I get it, but it's just like, it's so easy to start a garden in your backyard, but that's illegal. And probably the soil's unfertile because it's full of like whatever the heck's in there, you know what I mean? And kids don't go outside, and if they do, they're like doing weird TikToks that ain't really. And I don't say that for all kids, because there are some really wonderful kids, smart, and they're smart. Now I won't put them past that. They are really smart, like this new batch.
New batch of youth.
Yeah, this new batch of kids, they're pretty smart. But I don't know if that's because they have like the entire world at their fingertips or in their pockets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We grew up in like, Oregon Trail. Yeah. And,
I miss that. I
yeah,
miss that.
Now we're really out here dying of dysentery. Like, what's that about? I don't know.
That's so real.
Yeah. But to quickly answer the question, the fellowship for all is accountability for one.
Okay, twin, say your words. She's like, okay, and then that's on it. Okay, girl.
But for real, like, start with yourself and then move outward. Because if you don't get this right, then who, what, where, when, how,
I mean, dang. Vice President, you coming in? What's happening?
I mean, hey,
I think we would. I think we would see.
Can we
Co-presidents,
switch it
right?
up?
Can we go back to the Barbie time where everybody was everybody was something?
I'm not wearing that purple suit though,
so. I think you both summed it up beautifully. Honestly, I think for me, fellowship in 2024 is just recognizing that we don't live in our own little bubble. That everything that we do does affect other people, whether we want it to or not. Our impact is greater than what our intent is sometimes. And I'm just trying to live right, stay hydrated, mind my business, and pray that any woman that feels that being a woman, being pregnant, having a miscarriage, anything like that, feel safe. Like for me, I want that person to feel safe, to be able to regulate what happens with their own bodies. I want the unhoused to not like have to worry and struggle. A lot of us have faced severely cold temperatures in the past week, wherever you live. Even, all the three of us live in the South, and Cassie, well, she's just, we know what Michigan's like. But the three of us live in Georgia, and it's been it's been below freezing pretty much every night this week. And I, couldn't imagine not having shelter. And so it's just simple things like that. And even just like you said, illegal to grow food. And, I've seen where people get arrested for feeding the homeless. Yep. And I just think it's kind of wild that we get in trouble for taking care of our fellow man. But yep, if we go back to the Bible, Jesus went out and he was taking care of those actual people. So, I mean, what are you guys really talking about here when it comes to Christianity and fellowship? If you can't, provide or assist your fellow man. I mean, most of us have more than we can consume, especially those of us, it may be me one day, but right now, but billionaires, you will never consume that amount of money in your lifetime. And so, I think that the collective has to understand that, as Cass and I talked about months ago, like it's either one of us or all of us. It's not like either all of us survive or none of us do. That's really kind of how
underground now. So like whatever.
That don't mean they surviving, girl. They underground. Remember that. Okay, we up here. Cassie, what do you think?
So I agree with everything you guys have said. Coming in with my Cancer energy to all of this Aquariusness, my vote for increasing fellowship in 2024 is forgiveness. I think that we have to forgive ourselves for being bad humans to the earth, as most of us have and are still continue to be. And we have to forgive each other, and we have to forgive the people we want to forgive the least. because those people are never, ever, ever going to change their behavior if they don't feel seen and embraced by a different pattern of behavior. You know what I'm saying? Our rightful judgment of a great many people will not affect any positive behavior from them, but embracing them where they are and offering a counterpoint that doesn't feel antithetical to their long held identity and beliefs, but maybe can add on to it or expand it in some way that's positive, that we're going to be able to bring people into the fold. And we really need to point the accountability lens, in my opinion, at rich people and people we have vested with power, the people who are taxpayer dollars
dollars pay for. Yep, we totally agree, because our taxpayer dollars, yes, we have elected them.
Yeah, I know you finished my thought. You guys, the Lions won today. Internet in Michigan is just down. Everybody is crying and FaceTiming their fellow Detroit people. And so I'm sorry. That is what is happening with my internet.
It's okay. We hype for that. So
sports ball.
Before we get you guys out of here, I just did want to touch on, because Cassandra asked us earlier. Cassandra, you are an Aquarius sun, a Sagittarius moon, and a Scorpio rising. All of this definitely tracks. And Sam, you are an Aquarius sun, Gemini moon, Leo rising, again tracks. If you know, you know. And for you, Cassandra, your Pluto is going to transit your 4th house, which is it's normally ruled by Cancer, and that is your stability, your base, all of that. So 20 years of transformation, it'll be okay. It's probably going to feel not so good sometimes, but it'll be okay. And for you, Sam, 7th house, we talked about this, one-on-one relationships. So this should be fun for you.
We'll see.
We'll keep posted and figure out where it is. But before we get you guys out of here, the people want to know who you is, what you got promoting going on, and where can they find you. Cassandra girl, tell them about yourself.
Well, I am definitely a kooky, cliche Aquarian artist. You know what I mean? I grew up with like comic books and pinup, so that's usually kind of like my go-to in the direction of my art style. And as of the 24th, on Wednesday, if you're in Atlanta, come through. It's Apache XLR, and it's downtown Atlanta, of course, right behind the aquarium. 8 p.m. the doors open. Come in, get some drinks and food. It's going to be sexy performances, and I myself will be live painting a nude model on canvas. So you can sit in like my little area. I'm kind of like dubbing it as like also like my birthday party too. So I'm gonna have like I hate saying this word because if I say it and you didn't hear it, it sounds weird. But you know the little cakes, the pedophores.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of those for us because I know like cake is cumbersome, but you can grab your piece of cake. But yeah, so pretty much just doing art. I have art all around the city, but if you come through and if you go on my Instagram, there's a flyer on there. If you show that at the door, you only get in for about like $8.
What is your Instagram? They should find this flyer
on. It's my name, Cassandra A. Heart. And yeah, like I said, next week, Wednesday, 8:00, Apache XLR. That's where we'll be located.
Oh, right. And lovely Coral, as always, came through with it in the chat. So guys, please go follow her. And if you are in the Atlanta area like I am, I may see you there on Wednesday, but I will be there. Come and support my birthday
Come
twin
on.
because that's what we do.
It's gonna
Okay.
be a good time.
That's right.
Fellowship.
Mhm.
All right, Sam, you're up. Tell the people about yourself, where they can find you, what you got going on.
Okay. Well, I'm Sam. I'm a local abstract painter and teacher and mental health advocate. I live with CPTSD and bipolar disorder and believe that leaning into radical vulnerability and talking about the things that we've been through makes other people feel less alone and frees us all. And so I'm very passionate about staying rooted in vulnerability and being authentic and honest about the difficult shit that I've been through personally, because I know it makes an impact, and I know what it's like to feel alone and feel like you don't have options and you're at the bottom of the darkest well and without a flashlight. And so to be able to shine some light on going through difficult things myself and being like, I've been there too, and you're not alone, and you're not broken, and you are still worthy of love, and all of those things. So I use my art as a tool to heal myself. In 2024, I want to focus more on, a lot of my paintings are like diaries. I tell a lot of stories, lessons learned, things like that through my art. But I also want to focus on learning more about other folks' lived experiences, because that is very important as a very privileged, very vanilla fucking white woman, to understand shit that other people go through that I will never understand, but I can make a commitment to listen, to show up, to advocate, to carry people's stories with me. And I also am a firm believer in walking and chewing gum at the same time. So we can, participate in capitalism and sell our art and do things like that, but we can also do good in the community and be, good, committed advocates for our neighbors and folks that need help. So I like to support a lot of different mutual aid groups. I want to mention one specifically called ATL Free Fridge that I support. It is a fridge that is located in North Decatur. We did have more locations, but unfortunately, a lot of people feel like community fridges bring down their property value, so they don't want them in their neighborhoods. So that's what happened there. But there is still one operating in North Decatur, and it is open 24/7, 365. Nobody has to show an ID. Nobody has to jump through hoops to get aid. Anybody can go to the fridge, take what they need. Volunteers also can get involved 24/7, 365. There are partnerships with restaurants where you can go pick up food. You can go do grocery shops. People donate funds. It is a really easy way to plug in and fight food insecurity in the Atlanta area in an intentional way. And mutual aid is very important. Nonprofits are amazing too. They do a lot of good work, but mutual aid gets resources to a need quickly and often without barriers, not showing an ID, people not having residence, all those things. So I have a studio space in West Midtown where I host events, I teach workshops. I am also starting a trade network for creatives and small business owners that are interested in bartering and trading with each other. That's called the Collective Care Exchange, and we will meet once a month to encourage each other to help each other, because I think that we all have big dreams we want to chase, and oftentimes the person that needs to help you get to that dream might be like right next door to you and you don't even know. So if we were all a little more intentional about trying to connect with each other, the dreams we want to chase, the things we want to do, the ways we can help each other, I'm really interested in that. So I know you didn't ask for this long of a description of the things I do.
We said we gonna give you time, girl. Just tell them, Sammy, what is your IG handle? They can find you there. You promote all that stuff.
Yes, so it is Sam Studio Lou. So Sam Studio LOU, and that is the place where I post the most things, where you can find out about different events. I often host open studios. The warehouse that I work in is like 14 other artists as well. So when you come take a workshop with me, you are also exposed to a bunch of wonderful talent in Atlanta across various mediums, like clay, photography, all kinds of mixed media, oil, all the things. So yeah, I would love to have you at my studio. You
Can I
what?
donate some things to your studio, like art supplies and things like that?
Oh my gosh, if you have them, yes, I would love.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
yeah,
I have
yeah.
tons of stuff. Yeah.
I
Oh my
will
gosh.
say, guys, I've been to Sam's studio because I met her at the right time. And had the most fabulous time New Year's Eve there, just being a kid and painting. So thank you for that. That was probably one of the best experiences I've had. But guys, these two amazing souls, you got to be graced with their presence. And Cassie and I are so happy that they both came on.
Yay.
Cassandra, Sam, we love you, but it's our time. We're going to kick you out.
Thank you guys so
them.
much.
Thank
So
you.
Their
Thank
handles
you
are in
so
the
much.
chat. Happy birthday to both of you.
Happy
by the
birthday to
way.
y'all.
Hey, for all of you people Aquariuses, you need one. If you ain't got one in your life, you better find us.
That's
All
right.
right. And we're gonna remove you.
Are you cooking us? All right.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen.
Oh, there it
Goodbye.
is. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. Okay. What's up? Okay.
Am I frozen?
So before we do this, I want to see if this is we're doing a little quick test run. So my godmother is in the chat right now. Let me make sure she's still watching. Yeah, she's still watching. And I don't know if she knows, but she is sending a request to be on our live. So I'm gonna see if she does pop on. I'm gonna do this real quick. We'll see what happens if she does accept it. But I want you folks to know that this woman is one of my, look, there they are.
No, I didn't plan this today.
Okay,
How you
I'll take you out, but
All right.
these are my godparents, and I love them very much.
And we
All
love
right,
you.
we
love you too.
I support them, but I'm gonna take them out because I feel like my godmother. She's like, take me out of here.
Oh, no.
All right, so that was, I just wanted them. I love them so much. I will say just a quick moment. My mom did pass away when I was 19, and my godmother was my mom's best friend. And her and my godfather have basically been my adult parents my whole life. And my godmother is an Aquarius, and so so I love her. She sent me a note earlier today, knowing today was going to be our season show, so she was excited to watch it. And I just want her to know that I love you very much, and I appreciate, like, more than I could ever express, the support that you show for me, especially in this field and me doing this, because but thank you, and I love you, and that was it. Okay, so
we love Godmom and Goddad, and I wish I could see them. My internet froze. I still see Sam and Cassandra, and so we're rolling with it. But I love that. Aquarius queens, you both.
Listen, but Sam and Cassandra, thank you. That was amazing. We are moving, and we're gonna talk about where the planets are.
Yeah.
So we currently have the Sun and Pluto in Aquarius. We will not have a new moon in Aquarius until February the 9th. But before that, we will have our full moon, of course, in the opposite sign of Aquarius, Leo. That will be on January the 25th. After that, we still have Mars in Capricorn. Mars will not move into Aquarius until right before Valentine's Day on the 13th. Venus is going to be in Capricorn starting on the 23rd, but it will not hop into Aquarius until after Valentine's Day on the 16th. And then Mercury is in Capricorn, moving to Aquarius on the 5th of February. Jupiter is still in Taurus. We have Uranus still retrograde in Taurus only until the 27th, and then it will move forward. And Saturn and Neptune are still in Pisces. So by the end of this month, all of the planets will be going direct. A lot of those outer planets, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, all of them, I think, were all retrograde at some point last year. So now you guys, we have kind of a free little moment in time. And I am always encouraged when all the planets are going direct, because it allows for energy to flow as it should. And there's kind of no delays, if you will, or redos. So we've had a lot of time to rethink a lot of things, especially towards the end of last year, because Mercury did go direct in the beginning of this year. So I am looking forward to the rest of this Aquarius season. I hope you guys are too.
I am. I'm excited. Let's get this old energy out. Bring in some fresh Aquarius air. Let's do this. I'm ready for it. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You and I have been around each other enough. You're ready for it. The one energy you don't have in your chart, it's fine.
You're right.
You're ready for it.
That's right.
It's funny because I only am a Cancer rising. I don't have any Cancer energy in my chart. Yeah.
Well, look at us.
Yeah, but I think the Cancer rising, again, we all know it softens
It
the
does.
blow until you get to know me. Uh, but speaking of amazing Aquariuses, other than my godmother, we are going to do our celebrity check-in with our favorite Aquariuses. I'm going to go first, and
Please.
I'm going to pick Paris Hilton.
Mm.
Because I think a lot of people counted her out and thought she was dumb. And joke's on you, she is probably the most smartest person you've ever met, the biggest businesswoman. And she is in her what? Mom era. I'm living for it. She had a memoir come out last year called Paris. I really want to read it because a lot of people have said really good things about it. But I think that I love a good underestimated Aquarius queen. And Paris Hilton, yeah, I'm here for it.
I have a affinity for her that goes back many, many years. Yes, I am in full support of her mom phase. She has brought a lot of awareness to residential schools and the abuse, not in the indigenous community, but like current rehab type, like teenage residential schools, which is good. I mean, I hope she is philanthropic with her money. She comes from incredible wealth and has accumulated on her own incredible wealth. She's an Aquarius, so hopefully she's giving back to the community. But if not, she's giving us joyful content, all and lots of it. So I'm here for it.
Aquarius married to an Aquarius with a Capricorn sun.
Perfect. I love it.
Chef's kiss.
Yes.
All right, who you got, girl?
So my first one is Elizabeth.
I think she said Elizabeth Olsen, but I think we froze again. So let's see what's up.
Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Olsen?
No.
Elizabeth who did you say?
Banks.
Elizabeth Olsen?
No, I said Elizabeth Banks.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Elizabeth Banks.
So she's another one a bit like Paris Hilton, where you think she's like one thing and she's, kind of a Karen-y actress typecast, but like she's also a cool director. And I don't know if you saw Cocaine Bear, but it is she directed and produced that film, and it is quite good. It exceeded my expectations of what it could be. And Aquarians are just never they're never just one thing. They've always got, they're like an onion, many layers to peel back, many talents, and Elizabeth Banks embodies that for me. So you go, girl.
Probably will make you cry without you even realizing.
Right. Well, yeah. That was a risk you should have known. No.
Okay, well, my next one is also me and Cassandra's other birthday twin, and that is Kerry Washington. And I'm always going to give her a shout out because she seems fairly unproblematic as an Aquarian, and I know sometimes we get kind of caught up. But bless her ever-loving heart, because everybody knows her from Scandal. A lot of people, Chris and I were talking about this earlier, Save the Last Dance. She was in that movie. That was like one of her first ones. Right. Like way back in the day. And she just produced her own memoir as well, because Aquarians got stories to tell, and it is called Thicker Than Water, and it's a memoir, and I believe it is basically about her father that she was raised with is actually not her biological father, and that her biological father, I think, was through artificial insemination. And that's a very interesting and vulnerable story to share. But she has created a huge lane for herself. She's now a producer and a director. She works with Onyx, the Onyx Collective. And I think, what was it? Little Fires, her and Reese Witherspoon did that, which is a great show if you've never seen it. But yeah, Kerry Washington, all around great. Stay in her bag and stay looking cute. And the one thing I just actually read that she said the other day was talking about everybody kind of puts celebrities like that they're not allowed to be political or like have those, and it's almost like, you know, you're a celebrity, like you need to stay in your lane, but like they're still human beings. And her expression of it was, she's like, I'm a Black woman, so everything I say and do is political. And I was like, point taken. So Kerry Washington, shout out to you, birthday twin girl. And I think Cassie froze again, but she'll be back because she always comes back. And we're going to work through this because that's just what we do here at the Zodiac Chat Line.
I'm back.
All right, girl, who you got next?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
who you got next?
You know, I was scrolling, trying to find Aquarius. Their celebrity is a weird collection. It really is. That's who I wanted to talk about. But one that I found, I just recently saw her be honored at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, is Sheryl Crow. And I loved Sheryl Crow when she first dropped Tuesday Night Music Club. She is an Aquarius, early February Aquarius, if I remember correctly. And I remember that when she came out, she was like 30, which is young, but old for a brand new like solo female artist to be emerging on the pop scene or whatever. And she had been a music teacher, and she just didn't fit neatly into like any particular category of music, but she made so many great songs. And it was, you know, a pretty cool musical variety show to watch. There were a lot of great honorees. Missy Elliott was the headliner. Cheryl performed with Stevie Nicks and Elton John and all different kinds of people, and it was really cool. And it seemed like she stepped away from music to like be a mom and do her own shit. And I just love that Aquarius energy for her. It's like, I did my thing and now I'm going to do something else. And boom, and there we are. So,
yeah. Dang, her, Paris, and Carrie, they were like, we're still moms, but we're still building our empires for our legacy children.
Right.
That's basically what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure we have the same person for the last one. Okay, great. So this, Houston, Texas finest, y'all. Got knees so sturdy. She is college educated, lyrically underestimated. She is an actress. Recently just released a single with Renee Rapp called It's Not My Fault. Tina Snow also released a single called Cobra. She performed, was able to be a guest spot in Beyonce's Renaissance tour in Houston. We all know I am talking about Megan the Stallion, aka Megan Pete. Girl, we
Hot girl Meg.
love you down. Everything about you, all of your femdom energy, girl, because I see it one queer to another, girl. I see your energy and I'm here for it. I'm loving it. But Megan has gone through so much publicly and privately, but all of it's been displayed publicly. Both of her parents have passed away, and so, you know, as someone who's lost both of her parents, I have so much empathy and compassion for just how hard that really is to continue and be successful, and your parents aren't physically there to watch that growth, even though they're there with you spiritually, but not physically there to be able to celebrate with you. Suffering through a weird relationship and being shot by a person, but not, whatever. And then, you know, just not being able to be sad, and people, you know, like, she talked about depression in her recent song, just being very vulnerable with like what she's got going on. That girl is fine. That girl like has a Planet Fitness deal, and continues to lyrically just kill people. Like everything, she's just like, and so Megan, you always got a place here at Zodiac Chat Line, girl.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's done, I mean, it's hard to be a commercially just dominant rapper and also be a spokesperson for mental health awareness. You know what I mean? Like those things don't usually come together in a like that way, and she refuses to be anybody other than who she is, or she purposefully embodies characters. Like she does that with Tina Snow and like the hot girl coach and all that, but like she also will get extremely raw and vulnerable on tracks, and it's really magical the way that she comes through in her art, in her performance, and I love her. Always rooting for her. Want nothing but the best for her.
She's like
Forever.
23, 24, which
A baby.
right. So we already know, girls. I'm just excited to watch her continue to grow.
Yeah.
And
I'm happy to be in her world.
yeah, exactly. And just know, like, I think that's the one trait that you will notice about a lot of Aquarians is that, like, whatever hardships they've gone through, most of them have pretty good poker faces, and learn how to really manage it internally, and still come out on top. But I think it's also that Aquarian is also ruled by Saturn first, and a lot of that is just we're used to the karmic energy that comes along with that, and it's like, do your best. I'm ruled by Saturn. I'll be fine. Maybe you won't. So that was our celebrity check-in. Do you want to see?
Let's put a pin in that because of my tech issues.
Okay.
I don't think I will be able to see anybody. So if we just do our email question, because it's a juicy one.
Okay.
Y'all,
go for it.
For our Zodiac audience, if you have had a burning question for us and you just want to pop in on the show and ask.
There's that tech issue.
So
if you have a burning question and you want to pop in on the show, and she's back. Burning question, you want to pop in on the show, we will start opening this up before our question time. Just kind of shoot us a comment. We're reading them. Just let us know, hey, I want to hop on later. And I will call it, and I will, be like, okay, at whoever, hop on if you want to hop on. But for today, we're going to go over our question. And the question comes from our email, and it is, my moon is in Aquarius in the 3rd house. What should my focus be for this new Pluto transit? I'll let you go first.
Well, I think that this questioner's focus should really be getting in tune with what is calling to them in their community. Where are places for them to form community with other people? I think that's going to be a big theme for all people in the world in this Pluto Aquarius transit, but definitely your moon, this is already connected to your emotional self, and in your 3rd house, that is, besides the 11th house, where we can kind of find that type of energy that is really productive. I think Aquarius energy potentially, but it's a matter of embracing your inner, like, to make that work. I think you've got to be a little bit graceful with the people in your community, and not necessarily be like Aquarian shadow side of being like my way or the highway, So, no tea, no shade. No
Never.
lemonade. What do you think?
I agree, but I also think that communication, possibly in the form of like letter writing or text messaging. I mean, I just really feel like short communications, like, and just communicating from like a vulnerable emotional place, which is not necessarily an Aquarian moon trait at all. It's more of an intellectualizing communication, and I think because it's the moon and it's the 3rd house, like you said, like being vulnerable with your community and communicating that way. And so I am definitely thinking that this person is going to have an interesting transit for the next 20 years, and I'm looking forward to finding out how that goes.
Right. Yeah. I think all the people who have prominent Aquarius placements
are amazing, but I'm sure she said something totally different than that. You think that all the people have Aquarius placements. You have to go back to
I know, sorry.
have a
Are
okay.
going to be able to harness this energy rather than feel like they are being overwhelmed by it. You know, all of us, if we're aware of it, I think, you know, we're arming ourselves here, but we're wading into untested territory, guys, as a collective, as a planet. Like, we are simply not prepared for what's going to happen next, and Pluto and Aquarius is going to show us that we are not.
And the other part is that, you know, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is unpredictability and technology and a lot of things that people are unfamiliar with. And I think you're right. I think Aquarians will be able to lean into it easier because we're used to things being weird and unpredictable and transformation, whether we want it or not. Out of all the fixed elements, I think Aquarians might be the easiest one to like navigate it.
For sure.
Even if they don't want to, they understand like the value in just adapting in certain situations while still being able to stand true to themselves. As long as it stays authentic to them, they're able to adapt. But if it's not, they're like, I don't know about what you're talking about. So I am looking forward to it. I think for me, those of you that know me in real life, you probably won't recognize me in a couple of years and probably by the end of the year. And I say this with absolute love. Those of you that will stay in my life is great. And that those of you that don't, believe it. It's no hard feelings, no love. We're all just transforming on this life and, you know, our paths will cross again, just maybe not when we're in the same flesh suit. But hey, I love you just the same. So with that, guys, we appreciate all of the love that we get. I hope you are enjoying my the tea and tarot with Tanae. You will have more of those coming up again this week. I want to once again thank Sam and Cassandra.
Thank you,
Sam for
guys.
president, Cassandra for co-president and artiste. Both of them artiste extraordinaires. If you are in the Atlanta area, please come check out Cassandra's live art show on January 24th, Wednesday at Apache XLR. I think I said that right. Thank you always, everybody in the comments, everybody loving us. I see all these new people. Hopefully you follow us because it was interesting. And if not, well, thanks anyway for taking some time.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Nice
We'll
to see
still
you.
be here.
Yeah.
So, and Cassandra just dropped that in the chat. So if you see that, that is where we're going. Before we get out of here, we, of course, will be pulling a tarot card because that's what we do. And I have decided to do the Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. This was my New Year's present to myself. Because if you know me, you know that I love tarot decks and I will find any excuse to buy another tarot deck. I have another deck by her, and maybe somewhere down the line you will get one of these as a weekly, but today I decided I love this deck. One of my friends, Alicia, and I have been actually pulling cards. She has the same deck, and so it's been really good getting to know this deck in that way. So let's see what the collective gets to hear on this Aquarius season show with Pluto and the sun. I hope you guys have a great Aquarius season. I know I will, because I'm going to celebrate the fuck out of myself and all my Aquarian fellow folks. So here we... Cassie, you let me know. Ooh, hold on before. Okay. You can let me know when I can stop.
Go.
Okay. Tell me when I stop. Okay. Top card is... Ooh. Of course Cassie pulls this card.
I can't read what it says. Star
it says,
mother.
Star Mother. How can you mother yourself?
Girl.
Look at Cassie can't even hold it together. Of course. Of course, Cassie picks the Star Mother, and we love that for all of us because why not? These cards do have different levels, and this is an inquiry card. Give me 2 seconds, guys, and I will find it. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Okay, you get to look at the card. It does kind of look like Mary Magdalene, you know, mother, all that, but
Mhm.
I'll let you guys stare at that instead of my face for a minute. Okay. You are more held than you could possibly imagine, loved and cherished so dearly that if you knew, you would not spend 1 second of your life in separation, worry, or fear. Let the mother carry your burdens. Let her rock away your fears. Lay all of your worries, regrets, shame, and guilt on her altar. Please, please, sweet child, do not fear. You are love in motion. If you allow it, you are already healed. Let her remind you of your goodness. Let her love away your fears. Your capacity to love and hold others is limited to your capacity to love and hold yourself. Be compassionate with your sweet body, mind, and soul. Treat yourself like the beautiful spirit that you truly are. Remind yourself that you are doing your best and try not to carry it all on your own. You've got this, and the mother has got you. Let her broad arms take away your burdens. Let her lift the weight of the world off your shoulders. Forgive yourself, my dear sweet child of earth. And the inquiry is, how can you mother yourself? I think that is a beautiful sentiment in the times that we are right now. I think mothering and nurturing yourself gets lost because we look for other people and even our own mothers to mother and nurture ourselves. But it does feel good when you can do it. And so I encourage you this week to find ways to mother yourself and comfort and nurture your inner child and you, because you know, like the card said, you are already loved and cherished, and you should know that. Highly recommend telling yourself in the mirror every day, I love you, because you should. It's a really good practice. So, Cassie, any final words for Aquarius season before we get out of here?
No, I'm happy to be here with you. Happy birthday, happy early solar return, and to all the Aquarians out there, enjoy this. We're all coming to your world, babies.
East River Fog, I'm sure that can happen. We will probably chat about this offline, but yes, I think we can make that happen. Cassie, what do you think?
I can't see any comments, so
even better. So East River Fog is asking, can Zodiac Chatline make a shareable "How can you mother yourself" meme?
okay.
I believe that we can make that happen.
Yeah.
Out of the three of us, somebody is artistic enough to figure that out. So we'll make that happen. But guys, I just want to thank you for joining us at our Aquarius season show. We will see you next month for Pisces season, our little fishies.
Yes.
Shout out to Cassie's mama.
Yeah.
But for now, again, thank you, Sam. Thank you, Cassandra. And of course, thank you to my lovely godmother. Happy early birthday. I love you. I appreciate you and all of your support. And guys, it's all love. Shout out to the Lions. We did that. But it's all love, everybody. We out here. And you know what? Peace.